Welcome to the Armani Talks YouTube channel, the #1 YouTube channel for you to level up your communication skills. Learn the art of public speaking, social skills, and digital content creation to take your message to the world. For today's episode, we're going to be talking about how you can overcome rambling. Have you ever had that moment when you went to a party and this fellow coworker came up to you and said that he had a funny story to tell you? So he starts telling it and telling it and telling it some more. And you get to a point where you start thinking, well, damn, this guy is getting caught in every single little detail that you can possibly imagine. And he's getting so stuck in the details to a point where you personally don't know what the hell the story is about. And he, at this point, has no clue what the story is about either. You know what just happened? This fellow fell victim to a social sin. A social sin known as rambling. A huge social sin in the social dynamics world is rambling. Rambling will plummet your likability, it will tarnish your influence, and it will really just water down your message as a whole. I don't care if you have the cure for cancer. If you can't explain it without rambling, other people just won't listen. That's how small the attention span is nowadays. So today's video is going to be very, very important in today's era where attention spans are shit. And this video is going to talk about why rambling is a toxic act. It may seem a little daunting to you that rambling is considered a toxic act, but I'm going to explain my rationale behind it. And finally, I'm going to give you a very fun game that you can play. A game that you can play when you're in the shower, when you're driving to work, when you're waiting in the line, etc. This game is going to help you overcome the social sin known as rambling. If you're excited and you know many other ramblers in this world, go on and hit the like button so other people can see this video as well. So to get started, why do we ramble? Why do we ramble? Well, my response is going to be very counterintuitive, but I'm going to go ahead and say that we ramble because it is the normal thing to do. You may be thinking, the normal thing to do? Armani, what are you talking about? It is. It is the normal thing to do. And I want you to, for a second, picture a kid. And you'll often notice that I compare adults to children when I'm talking about communication skills, because for a child, at this point, they're just figuring out communication skills. They haven't really been programmed in any sort of way by society at this point. So in many cases, they are a good baseline reference. So picture a child who is just figuring out how to speak. You could give them the shampoo bottle, for example, and they will just talk and talk and talk about it. Now, when they're a child, this is pretty cute. This is pretty cute because they're figuring out their words and we're more forgiving to them. But if you really break it down, at this point, this child is figuring out how to speak, but their speech as a whole is very chaotic. It is very, very chaotic. So this child is growing up, and now this individual is reaching adulthood. As they're reaching adulthood, they're going to have to make a choice. They're going to be met with a fork in the road. One, continue with the chaos, aka rambling, or two, take the road less taken and structure their speech so they become much more effective with their words. People often don't really take the second route, mainly because they don't even know it exists. Most people ramble because their childhood self is still the same way that they communicate. Their speech is left unchecked. People ramble for many reasons. I mean, number one, it's due to awareness. Two, could also be because they're lonely. Now, I've known many people that are lonely who haven't talked to another human in a very long time. And by the time that they do talk to this human, they're just letting all these words out. They could also be rambling because the story that they're saying is very, very important to them. But ultimately, you have to understand that rambling is basically the childhood self unchecked. The communication words have never been fine-tuned. So here's the thing, for you to get from a very chaotic state to a very structured state, you're going to have to put in a lot of work. There's going to be a little bridge that you have to take to get from point A to point B. Picture someone that is very fat. They're very fat right now. And picture someone, that same person with a six-pack. They didn't just get from point A to point B. That little middle bridge, it required a lot of work, a lot of conscious effort, dieting, going to the gym, etc. to get from fat to the six-pack. Same with your communication. It's going to require a lot of work to go from rambling to a structured speech. Now, before you start doing any kind of work, you have to see the value in it. Otherwise, you're going to say, I don't really even know if rambling is something I should fix. So the question is, why should you fix it? The reason you should fix it is because it is a very, very toxic behavior, and other people's subconscious mind is starting to build a very big unlikability towards you. And you may be thinking, wait a minute, Armani, you just said a lot of people ramble because they're unaware. You said they're not bad people, and now you're telling me that this is a toxic behavior? Yes. Because here's the thing, after someone is done interacting with you, there's two types of energy that they can feel. Either they feel empowered or they feel drained. When you ramble a lot, you make the other person feel drained. Why? It's because if I'm just throwing a word salad at you and I'm just saying word after word after word, you know what it does to the other person? It makes the other person, their mind, go on hyperdrive. And so much on a hyperdrive that it drains them. Picture sitting in a very boring lecture and your teacher just non-stop just talking to you. You leave the class feeling very drained. And that is the same exact effect that ramblers have on the other person when they are rambling away. They have the other person feeling drained. So what do you think another person is going to be like towards you if you have them feeling drained all the time? They're going to actively avoid you. You're going to plummet your likability, champ, and that is not what you want. Understand this, every extra word that you're adding into your message that doesn't need to be there is tarnishing your message, is watering it down. Is that what you want? It's not. So what can you do to fix this? Well, I'm going to introduce a very fun game to you known as the one-syllable game. The one-syllable game is when you form meaningful sentences with just one-syllable words. My name is Tom and I am new to school. I took my dog to the park. These are one-syllable words that can be made to form meaningful sentences. So why is this important? This is important because you are choosing one syllable, and this requires conscious effort into your words. Because it's very difficult to just find one-syllable words to form sentences. So now you are actively engaged in the whole talking process. And as you are engaged, you are forcing yourself to simplify your speech and still maintain a message at the same damn time. Keep doing this over and over again. I recommend you do it every single day, just 2 minutes a day. You can do it when you wake up, you can do it when you're driving to work, you can do it when you're waiting in line, etc. But keep on doing it over and over, and you'll notice yourself in social situations much more conscious of your words. You're not going to just go on rambling and rambling away. And the beauty about this is that you notice the effects out of the blue moon. I've seen people that just couldn't tell a story in a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, even though that's how long it should take, without turning it into like a whole freaking like movie. So the fact that you are being very consciously aware of what you're saying during this exercise, it really does catch up and it works on your simplification muscle. Overall, the rambling will melt away. Do this every day. 2 minutes is not too much to ask for, and the 2 minutes will add up, and it will take you from the chaotic speech of rambling to a much more structured speech, the road less taken. It's fun. It is really, really fun, and you will continue to surprise yourself. Understand this, if you want to build influence, if you want to be a leader one day, if you want to start a YouTube channel, anything that requires communication, you don't want to be that guy that just gets stuck in every single little detail. All right, so start taking a lot of conscious effort into this and start seeing the value in a clarified speech. Other people will thank you. You will thank you. And overall, you will build your influence along the way. If you like social skills tips like this and you want to keep on developing your communication muscle, then I recommend you sign up for my free daily newsletter. This newsletter has the latest tips, tricks, and tactics on public speaking, social skills, and how you can build a personal brand in today's digital era. Sound interesting? Well, go on over to the description box, hit that link, and sign up today. I'll see you next time, my friend, and thank you for joining the Armani Talks YouTube episode.